BAMBEES are an alternative rock punk band from Merthyr Tydfil, Wales, formed in 2022. The band consists of Rhys Davies on vocals, Ainslee Ree lead guitar, Jamie Thomas rhythm guitar, Sofia Reffell on bass and Owen Evans on drums, and have been consistently releasing and playing shows since they formed. Last Friday saw the release of their first tune this year, the riff-driven, in-your-face, NOEYES, NOLOVE. I'm speaking with Rhys, Owen and Sofia. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
What's the BAMBEES origin story? How did you all meet and how did you end up changing name, etc.?
So we've all been friends in some form for like a while. I've known Ainslee for 15 years, skateboarding and things like that. We started off, it was just in a pub one day and we were all in and out of bands but not committing kind of thing. So we went back home and said, right, if we're going to do it this on next week, let's definitely actually go to practice and start doing stuff. So we done that. And then Jamie got jumped in then from that. We had a different drummer originally, but it didn't work out. So we were in Reading with Owen. We got to know him through that, the festival. And then he joined in after that later on.
So how about the band name and why it ended up changing?
I worked in an auction house, so we were going through names and had a big list of stuff. And one day my boss, we had a big brass deer. So he said brass BAMBEES. So I pitched that to the group at that point for the alliteration, and we big Arctic Monkeys fans. So I think it's quite similar in how it sounds. I think that's how we kind of jumped at it. But when we were playing loads, that was always the brass part would always get mixed up. So people would always concentrate on that and then call us Banshees or something else. We've had some weird ones over the years, some strange ones. So when we were trying to speed things up and take it a bit more seriously and get more gigs, we thought we'd change it sooner than later to BAMBEES and do that really.
As a name, BAMBEES has a sort of soft connotation with a bit of a sting in the tail. Do you think that sums up the band?
I kind of did slipping on ice and just kind of faking it till you make it kind of thing. So we did like that. Even though it was all a bit aggressive and all that, we are just basically doing that every day.
Okay, so what genre do you consider yourselves? Because I've seen quite a few different sort of takes on what you do. What do you think you do?
Well, it's a bit tricky because we're such a mishmash of inspirations. We all come from different backgrounds. We all met in the middle with bands like Soft Play, Idols, Amyl and Sniffers, more modern punk takes. But then it's weird calling ourselves punk because we've been not fully punk, and I think a diehard punk fan might be like, no, you're not. So it's you don't want to pigeonhole yourself. So we just say alternative is the main thing because it's kind of just a combination of sounds really, but I think punk alternative is what we usually use.
So how about your influences? You mentioned Soft Play and a couple of others. What are the sort of different influences of the different band members?
Yeah, it's weird because, like I said, we've all been in bands at different points, but they were all very different ones. So I was in hardcore bands, so bands like Title Fight and things like that were big ones for me. Then we also the big indie influences, and so it's really strange. But I'd say probably biggest influence right now is gotta be Title Fight, especially Floral Green, that album.
Yeah, myself, I was in a metalcore band, Parkway Drive and all that first, that kind of stuff, more harsh vocals and breakdowns and all that kind of thing. But my main thing now is I'll just say Idols, because that's the way the first influence come from the band. It was the first meeting and all that was oh, do you want to sound like I was the first band? It was around the time they were kind of cutting through. I know they've been around for a while, but it was newish to us lot. Other than that, it's at the moment, so Viagra Boys and stuff like that.
Yeah, me, I come from a very different post-punk kind of thing with Joy Division, Pixies, things like that. Pixies are my favourite band, and then obviously there's Kim Deal, the bassist, that always inspired me. But yeah, I just, like I said, we met in the middle somewhere then over the time.
I think it's worth saying, just because you're Ainslee, a lot about music, and he's the main ringleader. He puts everything together. So, but he's a big indie guy. Like that's his main stuff. It's before he even done this with us. I don't think he really was into anything that alternative. He's got into it through being in this band kind of thing. So like Arctic Monkeys and Catfish and the Boatmen were like his main ones.
Why do you think there's so much good music coming out of Wales at the moment?
I think it's in our DNA of loving to sing, loving to have a good time, and also having the experiences to tell compelling stories through those kind of songs. I think that's the main thing, especially like values-wise. Like no one really has a good shake of the stick, like, so it's just pushes you to be more creative and outgoing and everything.
You've just released a new single, NOEYES, NOLOVE, or you will have done when this comes out. For anyone who hasn't heard it yet, can you give us a little more on the theme of the song?
Right. So like I did write there just about like a little party that's eating away. So you can't come across it if you talk about somebody else, but the song is basically like it's the parts you keep around that like eat away at you like a parasite, basically. That's the rough gist of it.
Was there a particular inspiration for the song?
Not particularly. I mean, like the way we built up is Ainslee just started playing like a really heavy riff in practice once, and it was just one of them ones that stuck around. So when it was time that we were trying to build up more songs to learn and everything, it was that song. So Ainslee built the song up, and very unlikely for him, obviously with his indie influences, it was like really heavy. So I built on that, and after it, that was basically the process.
So is it generally music first, then lyrics with your band when you write?
It's one or the other. It was still like with that, it was a bit of a different case because it was just that because it was such a good riff, that's all. So we built to that first and then put the words to it. But usually, as I write a bunch of stuff, give it to Ainslee, he'll put it to a song, then I'll rip apart what he's done and put more stuff into it, and then Ainslee do another pass of it, and then by the end of it, then we got something that's kind of collaborative on that stand. But then also we do it in practice, and everyone else puts their own inputs after all that. So it's like lyrics, Ainslee, me again, then band.
So is this the first single from a new EP or album, possibly?
No, we done an EP last, and like with the new landscape with music, it was really hard to promote everything. So I think we done about 5 songs for our last one, and we done 2 releases with campaigns, and they took a lot of time and effort. But then when it comes to the other songs, they all fell flat. They all get kind of mixed into it all. So we just decided to do 2 singles with full attention this time. So instead, I'm probably going to do that again for the next recording, and then think about doing an album then after that.
Do you go to a studio to record, or do you do it all in your own space?
We go to Tom Rhys from Buzzard, and he does the Bug Club now from Cardiff. He has his own studio, and we love going to Tom. He just always understands the assignment, and we work really well with him. We went with him a couple of singles ago, and then it was the EP. But yeah, he's just a delight to be around. He's just...
Yeah, he gets really good, like, hyping you up.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped. Doing anything, like... Yeah, he's great.
So how does he hype you up? What does he do? When he first listens to a song, how does he make it sound great?
When I started doing recordings, I didn't like having a mic on a stand. Just overthinking what I was doing, so he turned off all the lights in it and put disco lights in the room for me. So I had a handheld mic, and I was able to walk around the room and kind of emulate being on stage kind of thing to get a better performance out. And it was great. It was it was really relaxing for me, like, as well, with like Ainslee with his leads. He's just like a kid with him. He has all his pedals out and he's unplugging things and turning knobs and trying to create mental noises, but you really feed off that energy with him. Like, it's like I'm in the room watching it, I'm like, oh yes.
Full of beans all the time.
Yeah.
Just even if like, especially like on the EP, it was over like a good couple of days. So like there was points where you might like start flagging, but he's literally still bouncing off the walls and everything, and you just don't stop laughing and having a good time.
Onto social media. Scrolling through your Instagram, I'm happy to see that the band really don't take themselves too seriously when making content, and I'm particularly commenting on the Bro Woke Up and Chose Chaos post that you've got on Instagram.
We always try to do like trendy content or whatever, just to try and get ourselves out there when we're starting. But it's not our personalities at all. None of us are like that online or anything. So we were just forcing ourselves and we felt really cringe. So we just started acting like more like ourselves and doing stuff that we would find funny as an audience member. And that's when it started to click then, and we just run with it.
So your video for Heartbreak Kid looks like it was a lot of fun to make. How did the idea of that take shape?
We had the idea of a cult for ages. So, like, we were thinking about just, like, the idea of hoods and stuff like that. But, yeah, it really just built up from there. The guy who was being the cult leader in it, we've had him in, like, all of our videos so far. We've tried to make sure he was involved. So we kind of just tried to build around his personality and what he could do. So when it was, like, the big congregation in the church, we were, like, making sure Pablo, that was, like, his thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To control that kind of crowd.
It's always like a mad process, to be fair. We'll start off with an initial idea that's like absolutely bonkers and not feasible in the slightest. And then we'll kind of shave that down to be a bit more reasonable. And then like, it's like a back and forth for a while. And then on the end, we watch it and like, okay, there we go. that was how we got to that point.
So I really also like the aesthetics of the green on black poster and cover for the single release show. Who does your designing for those?
Yeah, so I do all the design work. I done it for the beginning. It's cheaper.
Well, also, why go to somebody else when you can do it yourself?
Yeah, it's a bit easier with everything. I work in a print shop as well, so we get all the merch done there and everything. So, like, it's a lot easier.
Do you still do physical posters?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, there.
Yeah, there's a couple there.
These are not green and black though, because the printer didn't have any ink, so they're like inverted. Yeah.
Yeah, we still do have a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done a couple of bigger ones as well. They're mainly in our practice space, to be fair. We've just stuck up any of the cool ones that we've accumulated over the years.
So onto your live shows. It seems like you have a lot of fun on stage. There's an awful lot of frontmanning going on there.
Yeah, I'm quite a guy, so it's nice to be performing. You get to let loose and just enjoy it, really. We all love music, and I think they like playing and all that. We love that kind of in that space. So it's all the hard work and everything all leads up to a point, and we all can kind of just get that all out there whenever we play. So it's that's all of our favourite part of the whole process. We don't really love recording. It's all about playing live, really. That's the main thing that we like to do.
So if you were given the question, if you could only do one, would you choose live or recording? I assume you'd all say live.
I'd rather let it go there, little happy accidents and interaction. I kind of like the unpredictability of it all. Sometimes you can go to gigs, think it's going to be terrible and it'll be awesome. Sometimes you think it's going to be great and it's absolutely crap. More times than not. But I love all that. It's really cool. And like me and Sofia say, we kind of don't think about it much, but I just love how you meet the new people in life settings, all the new sound techs and the new bands and their friends and all that. It's just wicked.
It's like a really elaborate hangout for all of us as well, because real life is so busy. So it's just nice to just cut loose with your friends as well as play live, obviously. But there is that element of we all like each other, so it's nice to hang out as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Best gig so far? I did notice that you've got the Castle show on your Instagram. Is that the best gig you've done, or the gig you've enjoyed the most, or something else?
It was the biggest show that we'd ever played, and it was the most fun. Like, it was nerve-wracking, but the thing that, like, stood out for me is, like, as soon as I finished playing, I normally, like, give, like, a thumbs up to the crowd or something, then instantly, like, start packing everything down, like, cymbals back in the case and stuff like that. And then, literally, like, a swarm of people came onto the stage, and they're like, nope, leave that there, that's for us to do, you go and enjoy the rest of your night. I was like, what? No. I was like, I'll go and pack up, and they were like, no, it's literally our job to clean up all this stuff for the next band. I was like, and I was just like, that's probably the coolest thing I've ever experienced.
We used to packing up and losing our stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I literally lost my hi-hat clutch in our last gig. You got steel leads in the one before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like that for the scale of it. It was it was a really cool experience, and like even with that amount of people that the setting was just mad. Like castle was like really old as well. It wasn't like a fake one, like it's like a proper like Spears castle. Like but I liked I think probably that we played Club a couple of weeks back. That's probably one of my favourites. I just feel they was all come together correctly and the right energy of the crowd and that kind of thing.
Club River Park is an iconic venue in Cardiff as well. So it's just, I've seen so many gigs there myself, like saying I was headlining, it was just like a 16-year-old me's dream. Like.
Have you played the new song live already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to run it a couple of times to feel confident of it before the release. Like.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have played it already.
How did it go down?
Yeah, I really like it, to be fair. The other one that we recorded as well is coming up next. They've been in like the end, the set kind of section, and that's always like the best part. That's crowd goes mad, everything like that, and it's been really good fun, like closing out with those ones.
Do you have how many people go to the bar when we play this song test with the new ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a mental notice that kind of stuff. We've got a slower song in our set that we all like. We love it. Like it's what we released. It was one of our first ones, like 2 years ago. And we like the song, but whenever we play our set, we seem to get the right people going, and then we play that song, and they literally go away. Like, clear the room before now, just because of that one song. So we can't never put it in our set.
There'll be a full mosh pit, and then it's just everyone like, right, Siggy break.
Yeah.
You've not got any live videos on YouTube yet. Is there a plan to put some on there at some stage?
Some from gigs that other people. So there's like an infamous, I think is the apt word for him, called Colin, in the Valleys. He basically has been recording bands in venues literally for like 15 years or something like that. He's really well known amongst everyone, and he's come to loads of our shows. So there's some of those. But there hasn't been any that we've done professionally to an extent where we've kind of got the recordings from like the stage, so like the amps and the drums and the vocals, and then filmed it. So there's some just normal clips of us online, but nothing like that yet. But I do think it's probably going to be one of the best things for us, because I do love all of our songs that we recorded, but they always just seem so much more fun and impactful when we're playing them live.
Yeah. I haven't got a bank of stuff. Like it's like, especially from that club one recently, my friend recorded a good old bit of that. It's on the to-do list.
So what's next for the band? By the time this comes out, you'll have just done your release party, and you've got the Immersed Festival in Cardiff on the 7th of March. What else have you got coming up?
There's one festival I'm dying to tell you, but we can't yet because it hasn't been. But there's a really cool festival that we've been accepted for, that we've been trying for years. So I'm really excited to announce that. But yeah, there's a couple of festivals. We usually get gigs along the way, but there's a couple of gigs lined up. It's the first year we properly play in a couple of festivals this year. So that's really cool to finally have that, because there's a lot of people just go to festivals, don't they, if there's like a certain genre.
Another song, that's coming out.
6 weeks means something otherwise.
Parentheses, question mark.
So it's just planning the release on that, then after that, really getting all the stuff collected. We've gone pretty full on with this one, so I haven't even thought about that one yet, but as soon as this gig is done, and then it's full steam ahead with that one then.
The final question, what music are you listening to at the moment that people may not be aware of and should take some time to check out? Maybe 2 each is good for this.
I know the thing is, Cowboy Hunters is one that I've been loving. We've managed to support them a couple of months back, and they're back,
Just Mustard, they're an Irish band. I've loved them for a while, but they've just released a new album now. I'm going to see them in Dublin in March. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just noisy but eerie and ethereal. It's really cool vibes.
Oh, the Gans.
The Gans.
Oh, yeah.
Gans, yeah.
Big fan of
Gans, they're awesome. Yeah, they're wicked. Really good.
Oh, there was a band that we played with in that club show. Is it
Sortega?
Yeah, they were really, really good.
So, for anyone wishing to find out more about BAMBEES, spelt BAMBEES, just in case anybody didn't get that, you're on Instagram, Bandcamp, TikTok and YouTube, and your single No Eyes, No Love came out last Friday. So, Rhys, Owen and Sofia, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.